Do this before you touch her. It changes everything. The secret every real man knows. She doesn't remember your moves. She remembers how your presence made her feel. Most men think intimacy starts with their hands, but the truth? It starts with your energy. If you skip this one step before you touch her, you'll never truly connect. You'll touch her skin, but never reach her soul. And eventually, she'll lose interest, even if she never says a word. But if you get this right, she'll open up in ways that make her feel safe, seen, and deeply desired. In this video, I'll reveal the 5 things you must do before you ever lay a hand on her. These are the secrets grounded in real science and real psychology, not game, not gimmicks, truth. Let's go deep, let's talk like men, and let's never go back to the weak way of doing things. Master your emotional state before you approach her, before you touch her body. You must touch your own truth. What emotional state are you in? Are you calm or desperate? Are you present or proving something? Most men don't stop to ask this. They operate from habit, hormones, or hidden insecurity. And women feel it all. Here's the science. The human nervous system communicates through what's called neuroception. Your body picks up danger or safety signals from others without a word being spoken. A woman's system is especially tuned to this because biologically her body is designed to protect itself. If your energy is anxious, rushed, or needy, she won't feel safe. And when she doesn't feel safe, she won't feel desire. Touch is not just physical, it's psychological. Your hands say nothing if your presence screams chaos. If your thoughts are racing, if you're thinking about getting it right, making her react, or getting what you want, she'll feel used, not connected to. She'll pull away without knowing why, and you'll wonder what went wrong. But when you master your emotional state, when you enter a space of grounded, calm presence, everything shifts. You stop reaching to receive and start offering connection. You breathe slower, your eyes soften, your body language speaks respect, and now your touch carries meaning. It's no longer just contact, it's connection. This is the foundation of intimacy, emotional leadership. Not control, leadership. It means you regulate yourself so she doesn't have to. You create emotional space so she can relax into it. You show up clear, not because you want to impress her, but because you want to honor her. That's what makes her trust you. That's what makes her want more. When she feels your calm, she surrenders her guard. When she senses your depth, she opens your emotion. And when she knows you're not chasing her body, but caring for her experience, she gives you access, not just to touch her, but to know her. If you skip this, you're just another man trying to perform. But if you master this, you become unforgettable. If you treat her body like yours, you'll lose her. What ignites your desire isn't what ignites hers. The male and female nervous systems are wired differently. You might be able to flip a mental switch, feel turned on instantly, and be ready in seconds. She's not built that way, not biologically, not emotionally. Women need to feel safe before they can feel aroused. Her brain doesn't separate physical touch from emotional trust the way yours might. Research in neuroendocrinology shows that oxytocin, what some call the bonding hormone, is released in women when they experience genuine connection and comfort. That hormone is essential to relaxation, openness, and sexual readiness, but it only gets released when her nervous system perceives safety. If she feels rushed, judged, or emotionally neglected, her body will say no before she even realizes it. You might be thinking you're doing everything right, saying the right words, touching her gently, but if her nervous system doesn't trust you, none of it lands. And that's why so many men end up confused when she suddenly loses interest. So what should you do? You slow down, not just physically, but emotionally. You speak in a tone that soothes, not seduces. You stay patient. You stay in tune with her body's subtle signs, her breathing, her stillness, her eye contact. You ask, not just with words, but with presence. Does she feel safe with me right now? Because if she doesn't, nothing else matters. This isn't about being passive. This is about being wise. Understanding her body's language is power. When she feels your patience, when she senses that you're not demanding an outcome but offering presence, her system relaxes. She breathes deeper, she softens, and her body begins to open to the experience, not because you forced it, but because you honored it. Don't try to replicate what turns you on. Learn the unique rhythm of her nervous system. That's how she stops resisting and starts responding, not with pressure, but with pure, genuine desire. That's when the experience stops feeling like performance and becomes real intimacy. The biggest mistake men make is trying to ignite desire before building trust. Imagine trying to start a fire in the rain. That's what it's like when you try to turn her on without making her feel safe. You can have all the right moves, but if her body doesn't trust you, nothing lights up. Here's what most men don't realize. Sexual energy is secondary. Safety is primary. Her mind needs to feel emotionally secure before her body can say yes without resistance. And safety doesn't mean being passive or overly polite. It means being stable, consistent, calm. It means showing her without words that you can hold space for her without flinching. Scientific studies and trauma psychology confirm this. When a woman's body feels threatened, even subtly, her arousal system shuts down. But when her brain perceives emotional safety, oxytocin and dopamine increase, opening her to connection and pleasure. So how do you build that kind of safety? You stay present. You don't flinch when she hesitates. You hold eye contact, not to dominate, but to connect. You don't rush her, and you don't manipulate her with charm. You give her space to feel, think, and decide. That's power. Not pushing, but holding. Women are constantly reading your energy, your tone, your breathing, your consistency. And when you give her the space to trust those signals, her body responds. Desire becomes natural, not forced, not faked, real. When she feels safe with you, she doesn't have to perform. She doesn't have to filter herself. She can be fully in the moment. And that's when the most powerful intimacy happens. Not because you made her feel desired, but because you made her feel safe being who she is. Make safety your foundation. Desire will follow naturally and powerfully. Most men wait for verbal consent. They wait for real men read the unspoken. Her words matter, but her body speaks first. And if you ignore it, you'll miss everything. A woman's nonverbal cues are constant. The way she breathes, how her body leans in or pulls away, the micro movements of her eyes, her lips, her hands, all of these reveal far more than her words ever could. Research in behavioral psychology proves that over 90% of emotional communication is nonverbal. That means if you wait for her to say what she feels, you're already behind. She won't tell you she's unsure, but her body will freeze. She won't tell you she wants more, but her breath will deepen, her eyes will dilate, her body will draw closer. But here's the problem. Most men aren't trained to read this. They're trained to chase verbal permission or scripted signals. And so they touch at the wrong moment. They say too much, too fast. And she disconnects, not because she didn't want you, but because you didn't know how to read her. This is where true masculine leadership comes in. Leadership doesn't mean control. It means awareness, sensitivity. You lead not by commanding, but by observing deeply, then responding with confidence. You need to attune to her like music, not memorizing notes, but feeling rhythm. And the moment you sense hesitation, you pause. You don't take offense. You hold space. That builds trust faster than any seductive line ever could. Be the man who doesn't need to be told twice, because he's already listening with his eyes, his breath, his intuition. That's leadership. That's rare. That's unforgettable. If your intention is to get something from her, validation, pleasure, proof of your worth, you've already lost. Women feel it instantly. The energy of taking, even if masked in politeness, is loud and it shuts her down. But when your core intent is to give, not perform, not impress, but give, you become a completely different kind of man. Giving presence, giving attention, giving her the space to feel safe, seen, and appreciated, not because it leads to sex, but because it leads to real connection. This is where psychology meets purpose and the burden we feel with ourselves when it comes to the job and relationships that we have. You can talk all you want about it, my friend, but when you say the words, "I think about you," the context changes and you become the person. Studies in sexual satisfaction show that mutual emotional attunement, not just physical pleasure, is what creates memorable, lasting intimacy. When she feels your intention is rooted in care, curiosity, and confidence, she relaxes. She responds. You're not trying to unlock her like a puzzle. You're showing up as someone who doesn't need to take because you already are enough. This is the shift that changes everything.